Hi, I'm Jack Canfield, and welcome back to another segment of Talking About Success. Today, my guest is Rani St. Pucchi, is not only an award-winning wedding couture designer, having dressed celebrities, actresses, athletes, and singers, but she is making a name for herself as an expert on relationships and female empowerment. And she's the author of Your Body, Your Style, and Your SoulMate Checklist. And I love these books. John Gray says about one of your books, says the SoulMate Checklist takes you on a journey to help plant ideas and concepts to enlighten and empower you to recognize your soulmate when he appears in your life. And on your book, Body and Your Style, I love this, Your Body, Your Style. Alison Krauss, who's a singer, who I love and admire, says Rani St. Pucchi's designs are absolutely beautiful. And you were telling me before we came on camera that you designed her dress for the CMA Awards in New York.
Yes.
Wonderful. I love it. I love it. I love it. You're on this journey now to become an author. You were a designer, and all of a sudden you're now an author and you're writing your third book. What made you move away from designing to this new career you have?
Well, I haven't really moved away from designing.
You're still designing?
Well, yes, but I've kind of taken a sabbatical.
A sabbatical?
A sabbatical, yes.
Okay.
I took a sabbatical to write my memoir. And I wrote that, and I kind of have put it aside for a while, and I went ahead and wrote these two books. And the reason being, Jack, I've worked with more than 15,000 women in my 32 years of being a designer.
32,000 women.
15,000 women.
15,000 women.
Yes.
Well, no, I heard 32. A
50,
lot.
Yes, that's a lot.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Now, you've written about inviting women to love their body in your first book, Your Body, Your Styles. And now you're finding your soulmate in the SoulMate Checklist. Why do these two topics become so important to you?
Well, first of all, the body. There's so much body shame. All women, we feel something is wrong with us and we want to change something. And I saw that struggle in all the women that I worked with. I'm a woman on a mission, Jack. I really want us to love ourselves. And all love begins with the love of the body. Mm-hmm. And so, once we love our body and learn how to dress it in a way that makes us feel more, comfortable and start loving ourselves, then we can go out and look for love. We are always looking outside for validation. And that's why I wrote the SoulMate Checklist, is why. Do you know your why? Why is it that you want to get married or you want to be in a relationship? Or are you ready, first of all, to be in a relationship? First, whatever it is that we want in somebody else, we have to embody that. Mm-hmm. So I kind of walk through, my readers through this checklist.
Why do you think most people don't know the answer to those questions?
It is one of the things that we, especially in the United States, look at the divorce rate. Yeah. 50% for first-time marriages, 78% for second time.
You think we get better at it?
Yeah, I know, but then we are at a zero-tolerance society. We don't make the effort. We don't want to make the effort.
We always want it to be someone else's problem, not us to grow.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's so true. So what's one piece of advice you'd give someone? I mean, you've got a whole book full of advice here, but what jumps out? What's most important to you?
I would say self-love first. It's not selfish. Sometimes we talk about self-love. We're not selfish to do that. If we don't love ourselves, we cannot love another human being. That is a fact.
Mm-hmm. So do you think there's some misconceptions or misinformation out there or things that people think are true that aren't?
Absolutely. Look at the media, first of all, about the body. The media wants everybody to look like a size 0, 6 foot tall. That's not possible. The main size that women wear here is size 14 in the United States. So we've got to be realistic that everybody's not made perfect. And kind of dress that body. And then as far as relationships, there is definitely a misconception. It's never somebody else's fault. We have to look at ourselves. What is it that we are not giving to the relationship that is not helping it further?
Now, I had some prepared questions for you.
Yes.
You've answered them very quickly.
Thank
I know
you.
you're a depth of information. If you were interviewing you, what's the next question you'd ask yourself? I want more from you before we stop.
Well, I would say, what about how do we keep that relationship once we found it? Mm-hmm. how do we actually really work, and how do we communicate and keep that love alive? That would be the question.
And what would be your answer?
My answer would be, you just have to continue. Everything happens. The first glow of like love at first sight, it lasts only about 2 years, Jack. Let's face it. You can be friends forever. So become friends first. Always look out for somebody else's well-being. And I think that's where we kind of go wrong. We just want gratification. We want somebody to fulfill us without actually making the effort.
So we need to bring our whole self to the relationship. This idea of you complete me. It's
Yes,
kind of a mythology.
Jerry Maguire, remember?
Exactly,
yes,
exactly.
that was
exactly.
like, wow, totally wrong.
I know. So when you say you should work on yourself or look to yourself, if you were guiding a young woman who was sitting here and saying, yeah, you need to work on yourself, how would you tell them to do that?
I would say make a checklist. What is it that you want in a relationship? Make that list.
Mm-hmm.
Now look at that list and ask yourself, am I that? Do I embody that?
And when I get a no, what do I do then?
Then let's work on it.
Figure out how to become that.
Become that, yes,
Yeah.
yes. And then also, every relationship thrives on communication. If we don't have communication, there's nothing.
Don't you think most people are afraid to tell their own truth, to be honest and vulnerable and transparent and authentic?
Absolutely,
And
yeah.
how would you-
Vulnerability.
And how do you advise someone to step beyond that? If you're coaching somebody, what would you say? I know it's hard, but...
Yeah, well, when you are planning, we're so good at planning a wedding, we don't know how to plan a marriage. So I would say, why is it that you want... Look at when you were first in love with this person. What is it that really made you love this person? Why can't you bring that back? Accept them with all their ups and downs, their light and the shadows. We all have that. Without a light, there won't be any shadow. Without a shadow, what is it? They coexist, light and shadow. So if he has shadows, you have shadows too.
Right.
Right?
No, it's interesting. I often ask people, say, how many of you married someone thinking they were a good catch, but there's a few things you wanted to change?
Right.
Then I'll say, how many of you have actually got them to change? And all the hands go down.
Right.
We have to learn to accept each other.
Exactly. And when we get married, we say, oh yeah, I can change him.
Yeah.
He'll change. People don't change, Jack.
Yeah.
It's going in with your eyes wide open and saying, okay, he's great here and maybe a little bit less here, but you know what? I love him just the same.
I think the same thing's true on the men's side. We're really good at learning how to court women, but once we get them, we don't know what to do.
Yeah, yeah.
And we have to learn that.
Yeah.
So, Soulmate Secret, your body, your style, Soulmate Checklist, rather. So, tell me, I'm sitting out there watching. This will be one of my last questions. I'm a young woman. Why should I buy this book?
Because you want a love that lasts.
And this will help me have that.
Totally.
We all want that.
It is my promise.
It's your promise.
It is my promise.
Okay, I love that.
It's a very bold promise,
I love
yes.
that. So, where can people get your books? And if they want to know more about you, how can they contact you or find out more information about your work?
Sure. My website is Rani St. Pucchi, just like my name, RANISTPUCCHI.com. And the books are on Amazon and Barnes & Nobles.
Very good. Very good. Well, I could talk to you forever. I could look at your face forever. You're so radiant.
Oh, thank you, Jack.
You're walking the talk, as they say. Thank you very much for being my guest today.
Oh, thank you.
So again, your body, your style, simple tips on dressing to flatter your body type. We all have different body. I didn't know the average was 14, size 14. That's amazing. And this book, The Soulmate Checklist, Keys to Finding Your Perfect Partner, which I wrote the foreword for.
You did.
I'm really glad, and thank you for inviting me. All right, you guys stay tuned. We'll be right back after this message.